Hello and welcome everyone, this is Adam from Critical Impact Gaming, and today we have an epic Wi-Fi battle against someone by the name of Alice. As you can see, I have the crown, so that means I got the DLC and I finished the whole thing. Got the decks, got my Urshifu, all that good stuff. So right here I'm going to start off with my Colossal as my opponent leads off with their Cinder Race, and now that DLC is out, that actually has the Libro hidden ability, which is pretty much like Protean with Greninja. And man, when Greninja comes out, no one's really going to be using Cinderace anymore. Just saying. So basically right here, I'm just going to want to start off with my Stealth Rocks. I know for sure I can take even a Life Orb High Jump Kick because I am fully invested in HP and physical defense with my Colossal. And this thing is very bulky, I gotta tell you, in both defense and special defense. HP is alright, nothing to write home about. But defense and special defense are definitely great. And I even have the Rocky Helmet just to get damage on Pivot Mons, which he actually reveals that he doesn't even have U-turn with his Cinderace because he just went for the hard switch into his Toxapex. So that just means I get my Stealth Rocks up for free, and I don't see a spinner. He does have a potential defogger, but we'll see what happens there later on. Obviously don't want to go and get killed by a single Scald because I don't have any special defense investment. So I'm going to go ahead and switch out into my Dragapult right here, as he does just go for his Toxic instead of the Scald, probably predicting my switch right there, so good play on my opponent's part. However, it doesn't seem that they have the Baneful Bunker. You'll see here in just a second why. Because I do just go for the Thunderbolt here, not trying to predict too early in the game, and as I know, you guys haven't seen his full team yet, but as I know, he doesn't have any ground types. He doesn't have anything that could potentially have Lightning Rod or Volt Absorb, so I can safely go for a Thunderbolt on anything that I want to, and that's really my best option right now, honestly. Now right here my opponent does finally decide to make a move after like 20 seconds in real time. He actually goes for the Haze, as my Thunderbolt does an easy like 70%, revealing to me that he is definitely physically bulky, which is great for me because Dragapult can just take care of it so easily now. I don't really have a lot of special attackers on this team. I think pretty much just Dragapult, and as you saw my Eldegoss right there. I mean, Colossal has Flamethrower, but obviously I'm not going to bring it in. So I'm predicting a switch, so I'm just going to go ahead and go into my LOPUNNY, activate my Toxic Orb for free. I really wish this thing had Guts at least. I do have Limber on it, so it can't get paralyzed, but I mean, its non-mega abilities are so bad, honestly. Like, I tried to make this LOPUNNY work for so long, and this is probably the best I got out of it. So I am able to get off a Fake Out on this guy's Scyther. Now this is kind of scary. It's a speed tie. I don't know if I'm going to win the speed tie. He could go for his dual Wing Beat, or maybe he has Brick Break. If he outspeeds me, if I outspeed him, I could potentially kill him with a Facade. So I'm kind of just risking it, honestly, and it does prevail because I am able to win the speed tie and take out his Scyther. So that's 1 KO for the Layla Star, the LOPUNNY over here already. I do take a little bit of toxic damage from my Toxic Orb, but that's really not a big deal to me because I do have the Aromatherapy on my Eldegoss. So if I feel like I'm taking too much damage from it and I want to get a Fake Out without taking any Toxic Orb damage, then I could definitely just go into my Eldegoss and cure my poison, which I'm hoping will come up later on because that'd be pretty cool. And again, right here my opponent's just taking his sweet ass time to make his move. He does go into his Corviknight right here, and I'm like, okay, I don't have anything to hit you with my LOPUNNY, so I kind of have to go on to either Colossal or my Dragapult. I do choose my Colossal because I wanted to get off a Tar Shot to make him weaker to fire moves. Now right here my opponent does actually just go for the Iron Defense, revealing to me that he does not have Bulk Up, meaning he doesn't have the Brave Bird, so that just means he's going to have Body Press, which is obvious. I mean, most Corviknights have Body Press one way or another, but that pretty much just reveals to me that he's not going to be having the Brave Bird, which is fine by me. Now right here I do go ahead and get off that Tar Shot, and it lowers my speed because of his Mirror Armor, which is fine because I wasn't planning on outspeeding this thing with Colossal in the first place. I mean, have you seen Colossal speed stats? It's atrocious. But I just wanted to get that fire weakness off so I could go in and switch out into my Dragapult and get off a Fire Blast, which is a definite KO after the Tar Shot. If I went for T-Bolt and he's max special defense, then it would probably be a 2-hit KO. I mean, he could take this opportunity to go for a defog or something like that if he has it. I'm still not sure at this point. I only know he has the what's it called, iron defense and the body press. So I do just fire off a fire blast. Luckily it does connect as he switches out into his score bunny right here. I mean, that's fine by me, honestly. It just means it's a little bit more chip damage so I could take him out later on. So now I definitely don't want to die to the sucker punch, so I'm going to send out Colossal just as fodder. If he wants to go for a high jump kick, predicting it, then at least he'll get some Rocky Helmet and Life Orb damage here. And of course there's always a chance he could miss a high jump kick, which would be fantastic because he would just kill himself. Unfortunately for me, he does connect, but like I said, that's really not a big deal because he gets that Rocky Helmet damage, and then he's going to go ahead and get that Life Orb damage, putting him in range for, you guessed it, my Lopunny. So I'm going to go here. I'm thinking he's going to switch out, but I don't want to risk it and go for a Facade and him just take me out with like a Pyro Ball or something. So I'm just going to go and fake out. He does actually stay in, so I mean, you could have used that as fodder, as a Stealth Rock fodder later on to get a free switch into something else. So I don't know why you didn't do that. Definitely would have been a better play, but it's whatever. It just means Lopunny got 2 kills so far, so doing pretty good so far, Lopunny. Now, I know this is physically defensive because of how much my T-Bolt did earlier for my Choice Specs Dragon Bolt, but I just wanted to gauge, see how much a stab Toxic or boosted Facade would do to a Toxapex, and let me tell you, it is not nearly enough. That's not even doing 50%, so I'm definitely going to have to get the hell out of here. I'm kind of deciding my options. I'm thinking, okay, maybe Eldegoss, I can scare it out, maybe put something safe, or maybe just go for the Giga Drain and see how much that'll do, because I definitely need to be putting more of an offensive presence on the field. He goes for the Scald, and it does burn me, which is not really a big deal. Eldegoss doesn't care about a burn, and I do get the speed drop against my opponent's Toxapex with my Cotton Down ability, which is a really cool ability, honestly. I like it better than Regenerator on this thing. Regenerator is a great move, but for Eldegoss I like Cotton Down better. So I am going to predict a switch here, as he can't really do anything to me. He could go for 1,000 Scalds and not kill me. So I'm predicting a switch, and I'll just take that opportunity to go for aromatherapy to cure myself of the burn and toxic damage on my Lopunny and on my Dragon Bolts. So now he's going to be bringing in his Urshifu over here, and I had to check here to see if it was water or dark because I couldn't remember the difference between the sprites. But he's just going to go ahead and go for the U-turn. I don't know what set he's running. He's potentially Choice Scarf, because I don't see a Life Orb damage right there. So I'm going to say potentially Choice Scarf, or maybe, no, if his Choice Band, that'd probably have killed me. But he does get that Cotton Down. It doesn't really matter because he's switching out anyway, so a speed drop doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. And he's just going to take a little bit of time to bring out his Corviknight here. And on the switch, I did go for that Giga Drain. On the off chance he wanted to predict me switching out and go for a bulk up or something like that, so I could at least get some damage on the Urshifu. But my Giga Drain actually does enough damage to reveal that this is actually a Zoroark, which I thought was hilarious. And I mean, like, in all honesty, it's not the worst illusion, because no one's gonna go for a fairy move or a fighting move against a Corviknight unless it's almost dead, and then you could go for a neutral close combat or something like that. That's the only thing I could really think of. And so I know this thing is most likely not going to be packing an extra sensory, so I'm going to go ahead and just go for my water move. What's it called? Surging Strikes. Okay, yeah, the one that hits 3 times and hits a critical hit every time. So he is smart enough to save his Zoroark for later on and go into his Toxapex, which will absolutely absorb this damage like it was nothing. And I think I might have taken a little bit more Life Orb damage than I actually dealt damage to my opponent, which kind of sucks, but it's whatever. I could go into my Skarmory predicting either a Scald or a Toxic, because Skarmory does not care about Scalds from Toxapex. Luckily for me, he just goes for the Toxic actually, so I'm immune to that because I'm Steel type, which is fine because I'm just gonna take this opportunity to set up some spikes, because since I already have my Stealth Rocks up, it seems like he doesn't have Defog. The way he brought in his Corviknight right here, it seems like he could have Defog, but I think if he did, he would have used it already. But I think he's just the offensive body press set with like max special defense or something like that. So I am faster, and that means I could get up a second layer of spikes, and he's just gonna taunt me right here, so I can't Whirlwind, which it kind of sucks, but I mean I pretty much just have to go into something else and switch back in. Even if he gets to a +6, I have my starting attack because he doesn't have his own stealth rust up on my side of the field, and I could take even a +6 body press and then just whirlwind him out. So that's really not a big deal to me. So I am going to take this opportunity to go into my Dragapult, and wouldn't you know it, yeah, DC. So that kind of sucks. I had 5 Pokemon left, he had 4 I believe, and right here I'm just going to put some damage calcs up. Like, obviously I think I would have been able to live this stuff pretty easily, and he would have died to the Corviknight even if it was max special defense and max HP. I would have done 49 to 58% with Thunderbolt. Let's see, against his Toxapex, that's an easy 70% right there. So that's a definite 2-hit KO, or 1-hit KO actually, because you take damage from Stealth Thrust and Spikes. Let's see, next up would be the Urshifu. That was the water type one, so that's a definite guaranteed OHKO, 109% minimum, no problem there. And Zoroark was almost dead anyway, but that would still do 70 to 83%. So, I mean, one way or another, I was going to win that battle. It just sucks that he was salty enough to disconnect. But whatever, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I definitely had fun with this battle up until that disconnect. And make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And have a nice day, everyone. Bye.